Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 1 day time frame for Bitcoin, because currently we are still breaking out to the upside of this falling wedge pattern, which has a confirmed price target to the upside at 115k. Now we broke out of this pattern at about 105k, so therefore, so long as we do not trade below this with confirmed candle closes, I am still targeting this level to the upside. Besides that, on the 2-day time frame, not much has actually changed on this bull flag pattern. I'm still just waiting to actually confirm this breakout, which has not happened, so we have to be a bit patient there. On the 4-hour time frame, yesterday I was talking about this high and then a lower high being created. Now all we actually needed to confirm a new downtrend was a low below this low right here at 107.3k. However, we ended up holding this as a level of support, and therefore for now we are still simply just trading sideways. Something to take note of though is that we do have a descending line of resistance and a horizontal line of support, and therefore if we do end up breaking to the downside here, it would set up a price target all the way down at about 104.5k. So for now I am going to set this price target right here in the chart, although keep in mind that this price target is actually not confirmed until we actually trade down below 107.3k. And in fact, if we invalidate this pattern, that will be if we trade back above this descending line of resistance, because then we are no longer looking at a descending triangle. So that is just something to keep in mind on this lower time frame. And then lastly, taking a quick look at this 1-hour time frame as well, because right here, notice how we are not making new highs in the Bitcoin price just yet. For now, we are actually seeing a lower high. So the potential reversal call from yesterday was actually spot on, because like I said, you had to look for a bullish divergence to confirm, as well as a break of this trend line. And then as soon as both of those bullish signals confirmed, that would at least lead to a lower high in the price here. So we saw a nice low time frame pump to the upside here. Something to take note of on this 1-hour time frame though is that currently we actually have a bearish divergence in the Bitcoin charts. And in the case that you don't know, typically a bearish divergence points towards either some choppy sideways price action on this 1-hour time frame, or potentially some bearish momentum. So that is actually my outlook on this lower time frame here, especially if we start breaking down below some of these ascending lines of support on the lower time frames. In terms of an invalidation for this bearish divergence, that will be if we either create a new high in the Bitcoin price above this ascending trend line, or if we create a new high in the RSI momentum indicator above this descending trend line. That would also invalidate that bearish divergence, and that would of course completely open the door to more bullish price action once again. Overall, to summarize all of this, the 4-hour time frame is looking relatively neutral, although there is the potential for a bearish breakout, but in order to get there we would need to see quite a decent move to the downside first. So it is just a little bit early and something to keep an eye on for now. Although the higher time frames have not changed whatsoever, I am still bullish and still looking for that bigger move to the upside on the higher time frames. Although right now on the higher time frames, it just looks like we need a bit more time to actually confirm a proper breakout on this 2-day time frame, for example. In terms of the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, first of all, on this 3-day time frame, notice how we have liquidity on both sides here. And that is, of course, because we are just trading sideways at the moment. The biggest pocket of liquidity is sitting to the upside at 109.9k. And in terms of the downside liquidity, that is already sitting at 107.8k, very close to where we are currently trading, with a bigger pocket even sitting at 107.1k. Overall, on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, this is pointing towards the upside because that's where most of the liquidity is. Zooming out to the 2-week time frame, here again we have big liquidity sitting at 110.5k, as well as upside liquidity at 109.9k once again. So that is it in terms of the upside liquidity on this time frame, and to the downside it is also sitting at around 107k. So these are really the critical levels to look out for here during this week of trading. Lastly, on the 1 year time frame, and let me specifically zoom in for this, we still have a massive liquidity to the upside at 111K in the Bitcoin price. Notice how right here we got a move just below that big pocket of liquidity. So even though we didn't take it out immediately, the base case on this channel is that at some point we are very likely going to take out this 111K level of liquidity. That has been the base case for quite a long time here. And yeah, nothing has really changed here on the higher time frames. Lastly, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables, yesterday we saw a massive inflow of about $200 million into the Bitcoin ETFs. So overall, this is still having an upwards pressuring effect on the Bitcoin price. And this has already been today's market update. Bit of a quick one today, but not much has fundamentally changed in the charts here. Either way, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you do not miss any of these important update videos. But regardless, if you do end up subscribing or not, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.